Maraming salamat po. Kindly sit down. Uh, Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdia and the members of the Cabinet, Governor Albert Garcia is here with us, Mr. Ramon Ang, huwag ko na lang dagdagan because there's the San Miguel Corp, everybody knows, the officers and staff of the Office of the President, fellow workers in government, my beloved countrymen. I'd like to, para maintindihan ninyo ako, I'd like to tell you a very simple story. My father migrated to Mindanao, married a Mindanaoan lady, and as far as I can remember, we settled in Davao when I was about 5 years old. Davao at the time was a frontier country. And life was hard, really. And I went to public schools, but you know how fate runs this planet. My father became the governor. In that short period, about 10 years, life seemed to be a little bit comfortable, but still not the life that one should desire, especially when you are young and you crave for material things. And I found out when nung mag-asawa ako, it's really very painful to refuse a daughter in si Inday with the things I would ask na hindi mo kaya. You know, I almost stopped my studies here in Mindiola, sa San Beda, after the death of my father. Because then I could remember that we returned almost back to where we came from. Talagang mahirap lang rin kami. And my father died a poor man. And as a matter of fact, late in life, I had to support also my mother and had her house repaired. Ako, may mga bagay-bagay ako na kaya kong bilhin ngayon. Pero sa tingin ko kasi, you know, for all the years, kayong mga taga-Davao, it was a pick-up. May nag-Christmas kasi. Nang Mercedes-Benz, I cannot simply, hindi ko ako sanay. So gusto ko lang sabihin na tayo rito sa gobyerno, hindi tayo dito, wala talaga tayong para. But what we remember really are those who like us in this planet. Whether it is a pretended feeling, kasi politiko ako, and everybody would say, ay, politiko yan. Bula lang yan. So, let it be. But in my governance for 23 years, I really did my best to make Davao what it is now. It is hitting the 9% growth, the highest so far in the country. And it was a very troubled world. But being a prosecutor, I had always this in my mind, that I will improve this city, provide employment. All I have to do is to make the city peaceful. And because I love my countrymen, and because I love the people, you heard me in the debates. Why am I here? I am here because I love the Philippines and I love the Filipino people. Akala lang nila sloganeering yan. It is as if just to impress people of your patriotism or your passion for your fellow men. Baka ganun nga. Pero huwag kayong magkumpiyansa sa akin. Kasi sa Davao, nung sinabi ko, do not mess up with the people here. Kasi madalas no, kidnapping just in the middle of the night time, pinagpipick up lang nila yung mga tao. Sinabi ko, do not do something now that I am the mayor. I talked to the communists. I told them to, maybe you can just retreat to another province or city. I am not driving you out. But we share the same vision. You are the Communist Party. It is a party of a philosophy in life. Mine is socialism. Why? Because lumaki ako ng mahirap. Ano yung wala akong kotse noon, nagaya na yung mga ibang, mayroon pa rin yung kagang-kagang Opel Kadett, which was really a second-hand car bought by my mother. So yung sinabi ko sa mga tao, huwag mong galawin ang mga tao dito. And that statement came out first during my inauguration. In the press con, I said, go out of the city, kayong mga durugista. Do not destroy the young here in the city, or I will kill you. At sinabi ko, kayong mga kidnapper, at yun yung lumabas that Duterte admits killing suspects. Actually, ang media ang maglaro niyan eh. You know, people judge best when they condemn. It was actually, ayaw ko nang pag-usapan kasi talagang inkwentro yun. They kidnapped a Chinese girl, brought her to Cotabato, detained her there for about 2 months, but they made the mistake of returning the victim, the hostage, doon mismo sa bahay. Talagang walang utak ang mga, talagang torpe. So napunta sila doon, kumain pa sila sa bahay ng victim, pinaluto pa nila. But downstairs, I was really waiting for them. So, it was a massacre, 3 of them. We were only 4 people then. John Stares was retired, ako pati yung driver ko, at yung aide niya. Ngayon ang pinakita ko sa I said, I will really kill you. Do not with me. Ngayong presidente na ako, I have my sworn duty to protect the young. Wala na tayo eh. This Christmas is just a ritual every year for us to meet together to share the goodwill. Pero we have this purpose in life. You know very well that nobody really campaigned for me. Or at least some. Si Abet, governor. Si Lord. At yung few people who believed in me. Ramon ang gave me some money. Hindi malaki, pat hindi rin maliit. But enough to finance 1 trip there, 1 trip here. Wala akong, tanongin ninyo silang, you can ask all of them. Kung naghingi ako, o tumanggap ako. Alam mo, we became fast friends because, alam mo, ang tao may ano, you have this disarming attitude of humility. Talagang madi-disarm ka. So, we became fast friends. Until now, I would be happy if you would share, break bread with me during our Christmas party. Ulitin ko dito sa Pilipinas, wala akong para-para dito. Wala akong sabihin mo yung human rights. Basta diretso ako, may orders to the military and the police. Destroy the drug industry. Not the person. Destroy the apparatus. Kasi kung may dyan pang puser tapos patay na yung drug dealer, same. Maghanap lang yung ibang amo na drug dealer, then he will continue with his drugs. And so he put us in a bind, generation after generation. I will not allow that. I will never allow that. Kung patayan mo naman itong poser, nandiyan drug lord, maghanap lang ng ibang poser yan. So I have to destroy the apparatus of the drug trade. It will take me maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until the end of my term. But there are loose talks about impeachment, coup d'etat. Wala ako dyan. You know, God gave me a mandate. Ilang tao lang nagsuporta sa akin sa Luzon. One is Abed. Yung isa, si Lord Velasco. Doon sa norte, isa lang, si Amy. And if I may now, with due respect to the husband and to the family, si Angel Amante ng Agusan. Kaibigan ko siya. Sila lang. And yet I had even in Cebu, where my father comes from, Danao, Biduranos, where my cousins were for po. And I was happy to just learn about it. Basta bahid mo lang ang totoo. So ito, tapusin ko na lang. Gutom na tayo. Tinanong ko yung asawa ko. I never really expected to win. I was there for the challenge because yung mga ibang kandidato were not talking about Mindanao. And the greatest fear should be we will end up a dismembered country. And that is why I had to take the challenge. Di ba ninyo alam, and I am sure you will believe me, short of a federal setup, we will have no peace in this country. Wala. Maniwala kayo sa akin, laking Mindanao. The barest minimum would really be a federal state. And everybody is asking, why? Bakit ba yung rebellion? It is not a rebellion actually of sorts. It is the rising nationalism of the Moro people. Alam mo, before Christianity arrived here via Leyte, sponsored by Magellan, Islam was ahead in Mindanao by almost 100 years. Part of the Sri Visayas Empire of the Malay race. At pinilit nilang kunin and the Americans. And they passed this, itong Malacañang. This is actually an imperial setup. Kung kailangan mo ng treasurer assessor, sino mag-appoint? Kung kailangan mo ng acting mayor dyan, who? Hindi mo nga nakita yung lugar na yan. I'm sure the past presidents never went to the places that I have been into because I'm from Mindanao. It's really a almost a rotten system. You ask me, frankly, on this Christmas night, am I happy being the President of the Philippines? I'll give you an answer. I do not need it at this time in my life. Nandito ako, tatrabaho ako. I will not shortchange the Filipino people. Bakit ka tumakbo? Ayaw mo pala magtrabaho. No. Tatrabaho ako. Kaya, my duty is to preserve. And kung may tainga itong mga human rights, it is really a violence inflicted upon the Filipino society. By producing shabu, kinakain ng mga anak natin at maging gonggong, and crime flourishes. It is just in a matter of selling this shabu or alam mo, pag kayo may nakilala, isa lang sa pamilya ang it becomes a dysfunctional family. Ngayon kung ang breadwinner with about 7, 8, he comes home with his salary, but he is hooked sa drug. At 200 per day, that is 6,000 a month. Times 3 million. 104 million tayo. Assuming totoo yung PDEA. Yung kay ano pa ito, wala pa yun sa akin. Mine, I'm still counting, but I'm nearing the 900. I will hit 1 million by the year's end. At 200 every day, it's 6. In 1 month, it's 18 billion of our money. In 1 year, it is 216 billion of the blood of the Filipino. Kaya putang, huwag kayo talaga hihiritan ko talaga kayo. You don't destroy my country. I don't care about those human rights and presidents of other countries. They're all hypocrisy. And besides, what does he know of the spirit of my country? Lahat tayo nagtatrabaho, papakainin yung anak natin, papaaralin. Hindi naman lahat may kotse, naglalakad. Ako noon may minsan, San Beda, pati dormitoryo dyan sa City Hall, YMCA. Nang namatay ang tatay ko, sabi ng nanay ko, hindi ko kaya, sabi ko, okay lang. Naglalakad ako. Maniwala ka. But God is there. I would never voice a lie to you. Kaya sabi ko, wag dito. No, of course, itong mga revolutionaries, but they are driven by kanilang prinsipyo. They are the communists. You know, I used to participate in the demonstrations there. When my father knew about it, because he was a cabinet member of the first years of Marcos, he called me there and said, if you do not stop, I will resign. Kaya ako na ito. Sabi ng tatay ko, do not put me in a very compromising way. I respect your belief, but at least show a little bit of. Diyan, pinatawag ko. Sumasali ako dyan. He was a cabinet member, but the Secretary of Non-General Services, tatay ko, the first term of Marcos. But that's only my link with them. May sabihin ka, ako, Marcos, boy, gagawain ko sila. I never bowed to anybody politically. Every election, sila yung pumupunta sa Davao, lahat hihingi ng tulong sa akin. Ako, I survived on my own. Was mayor for 22 years, 4 years. And wala talaga kayong masabi sa akin. I prefer to take the commercial flights, but then a problem is sometimes I get to be late. Sometimes pero nagbabayad ako ng eroplano. Mura lang nga. Mura lang. Yung operational cost lang. Pero nagbabayad ako. Kasi hindi naman lahat. Minsan yung pauwi ako na I have to be there because I have some important persons. So yan ang buhay natin dito. So I promise no corruption. I promise that there will be less drugs. I will suppress it. And if I can wipe them out, I will. Then criminality. These are the things. Just make the Philippines peaceful. Kaya ako pag take off sa Indonesia, take off sa Singapore, I take off from Vietnam, hindi naman ako na naiyak. Pero naluluha ako to think na sila, everybody, every guy there is working gainfully, employed. Tapos pabalik ako dito sa bayan ko na runaway drug problem, there's a rebellion, the Maote in Lanao now, at yung mga terorista sa... So, the communists agreed to talk to me. I talked to Ms. Sison kagabi. I hope you guys of the intelligence were hearing it. Marami kaming sinabi. Sabi ko, we are all agreed with this. Is a land reform ko, fine. There are still lands now, walang may-ari, kalaki ng Pilipinas. Hatiin natin to sa isa't isa. But we have to support them. The way the other countries did. That's why they progress. Because they took care of agriculture. Doon muna tayo sa maliliit. And 4 days ago, I ordered the release of, nag-deliver kasi si Andrea Domingo ng 5 billion. Right away, binigay ko yung 1 billion kay DSWD. Sabi ko sa sekretary, ma'am, ibigay mo ito sa lahat ng Pilipino ngayon, nagdala ng reseta na wala silang pera pambili. Then I remembered yung mga tao na nagkamali. Ibuhay sila, then they are under medication for addiction. Sabi ko, 1 billion para mabili ko kasi wala pa akong rehab center. Were it that I said for the good soul of one Chinese singular guy, siyang nagsabi, pumunta dito, naglamano sa akin, dyan sa opisina. Tapos said, I'll build you a facility good for 10,000 addicts. In about 3 months, he finished the job, fabricated lahat, and passed by my office, said his goodbyes, and I have not heard from him ever since. Because sabi ko, itong alay ko, sinisiraan pa ako, and, mayroon kaming idiom sa Bisaya. I'm sure it applies to all. Patay gutom. When you say, we do not give you the aid, we do not give you the assistance if you do not do this and not do that. They have been doing it not only to me, but to the other presidents. And I said, you do not treat me like the others. You can have your aid. We will survive. I will look for money to survive. So, mayroon ako ngayon mga rehab this budget next year. And I would like to thank publicly Ramon Ang because they also built or going to build itong rehab center. And not only that, they donated equipments sa ating sundalo sa doon sa where I go every now and then when we have so many soldiers wounded or dead. I make it a point, and even the police, in the drive against drugs. So yan ang policy. Now, to all the military men listening, and to all the police officers and men listening, remember this. Go out and hunt for them. Place them under arrest if still possible. But usually they are not because they are armed. And if you cannot arrest them without your life being in jeopardy, kill the idiot. Sinabi ko sa kanila, and I will protect you. I will protect you. At the end of the day, I will assume full legal criminal responsibility. If I rot in jail, fine. I am old. I can do it for my country. Basta linisin ninyo. Just follow the instruction. It's all legal. Gayong doon sa Albuera, sabi na talagang ni-rub out. But when I was asked by media, I said, I believe in the police. It might be ridiculous to you, but still, the police, akin yan. I am their chief. They are under the DILG. And DILG is under me. Sabi ko, paniwalaan ko yung istorya nila. Hindi kasi rub out, pinasok sa... So, the NBI investigated. I allowed them to investigate. And they said it was a rub out. Go fine. You know, if I was really something into, di sabihin ko na sana sa NBI na sundan mo na lang yung istorya ng police. But I did not. I said, okay, fine. As far as I'm concerned, it was duty connected. Sabi ko sa kana, that may isang nagtanong sa akin, pare. Sabi niya, Rudy, you know, you should be concerned of yung pinatay. No. We did not operate until after 2 months I was president. So if you would kindly remember, take a few steps back. There were already a lot of killings when I was to become the president. When I became president for 2 months, there were a lot of killings. Wala kami doon. But remember, I mentioned several names of the generals of the police. I'm just giving you the idea. Bakit balutin namin yung mga putak na yan? Ba't kapag balot? Hindi naman kailangan ang mami dito. Ay, marami nang bungo dyan sa ano. Hindi na maghintay ng gabihan. They would not even wait for the darkness to fall. You want some ghosts, you go there, be alone. Sit there for about a few hours and you will see one. Hindi, tinatakot ko lang yun. Ano, Father? You don't have to worry so much about it. Because, about a third, baby. But hindi amin yan. Yung amin talaga is, I do not. Talayan mo ang kamay, paluhurin mo, tapos patay mo, gago. Lalaki ka kaya kung gano'n? Are you a man? At least bigyan mo ng panahon mo lumaban. Kaya, I support the police. Trial, demand na ninyo. We go to trial. But I will protect them. Handa sabihin ko sa korte, pupunta ako. Akin yun. Bakit ba dyan? Anong reklamo mo? Hindi kung gano'n, you prepare the sentence. I'll plead guilty. That I ordered it. And I will say protect everybody. Because in the end, sabihin ko, I may be, sabi ko doon sa Ginaldo, there are several talks about Codata, there talks about impeachment. You know, sabi ko, tinanong ko yung asawa ko, how come it is like this. Nanalo ako, anong tingin mo? Sa Cebu mismo, doon ako pinanganak sa Leyte. Wala akong isa, pati yung mga pinsan kong congressman. Doon niya sa kabila. At nanalo ako. So what does that mean? My wife said, she's a really religious woman, Baptist. There must be something that God would like you to do. So, yan lang ang sinabi niya. So, what do I do? Then of course, ang bayan ko, ako din, I will do it. But the sheer mandate of 6 million really appalls me. Saan ko kinuha yung buto? Baka nga sabihin nila, nagdaya pa ako. Because I was only carrying yung putok na yan, that would be the last. Next year wala. Kita mo naman ang magbayad. Ilang tao pa na, kung ikaw ang governance, why would you allow people to get injured, children losing their sight, limb? Hintuin mo Ay, paputok to drive the devil away. Magdagdag lang kayo ng demonyo sa buhay dito. Tayo magbulahan para tayong bata. Okay lang yan. God sent me to be president maybe for 3 months, 6 months. Then I'll be ousted. Oh well. Or I'll be ousted, impeached 3 to 4 years from now. Oh, that's fine with me. Do not stop me because I will not be stopped. Tatapusin ko talaga yung problema. I may be ousted like the others, but at least ako, I will assure you, mark my word, it will never be because of corruption. I will be ousted there. I will be forced out because I was desperate trying to help and preserve the Filipino people. That's about it. Nothing simple. Gladly. So wag lang ako sabihin na nakaw ako because it will never happen. And corruption in this government will stop. I go out because I was brutal in this war. So be it. It should be brutal because you impose brutality on my country. God. Yan, tapos. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.